contact with the population simply because they've had their nose down, working on their music, playing their music. And, by and large, a lot of players aren't very good marketers. They don't know how to get the music. They just kind of do what they do. And that's gives them the opportunity to do what they do, but it can be detrimental because they aren't being exposed to enough people. So hopefully today, people listening in will realize, dang, I need to get on the Cindy GrayHarr and Dwight Bishop team here.
That'd be cool. Well, I want to say, I can't mention all their names, but after several trips to Nashville and working with some other writers, I'm hoping that Australia and England and Sweden are listening today.
It's possible.
They're supposed to be streaming it. Yeah. We'll see if they actually are. I'll find out on Facebook.
You sat down and did some work with Daryl Scott, didn't you?
Yeah, it was. He is my idol as far as songwriters go.
As a lot of people are.
Once I discovered him, I like a lot of people, don't get me wrong. Depending on what song it is, I admire a lot of writers. But when he came out with the Crooked Road album, it's a 2 CD album. I just can't get enough of it. I listen to it all the time.
Yeah.
And his heart and soul are in his songs. So, yeah, we got to go down and spend the week with him, and also Mary Gauthier and Mary
wow.
Nilsson Chapman and Gretchen Peters and Danny Flowers and
Marshall Chapman.
Huh?
Did you say
no,
Marshall?
Beth
Chapman?
Nilsson
okay.
Chapman.
Gotcha. Man, you are moving in some really good circles. I can
they
tell
were
you.
just so helpful, because they write from a place that's inspirational rather than a mold. They don't say, here's the mold, stick your songs and music in this mold.
Right.
They write from inspiration, and it was a great week. And that's where we got to meet writers from all over the world.
Play some music for us. This is a good time to get back into some tunes. Set us up what we're getting ready to hear here.
Okay, this is a song. A lot of songs tell stories.
Yes.
And that cover a broad spectrum of time. And I had this idea for the first couple lines of the song, and I decided, what would it be like to write a song about that one moment that everybody dreads when the elephant in the room is named, instead of a big story. So this is it. It's called A Heart Might Break. We stripped it down to just guitar and vocals. So. All wrapped up in the Sunday morning crossword, tangled up in each other's arms, wondering if the world would end if we just stay here, unwinding and pretending nothing's wrong. Monday morning crashes through the door. We forget to pretend anymore. Words go unsaid, words go unheard. Cries for help, too long ignored. Fingers point and the blame begins to fly. Before we know it, we've crossed the line. And looks can kill when hearts are caught off guard. Suddenly we're in a house of cards, and I'm afraid to move, I'm afraid to speak. The sky might fall, the earth might quake. I'm afraid to breathe, I'm afraid to blink. If I do, a heart might break. The room is spinning, we begin our fall from grace. Down to black and white, not even a hint of gray. Feels like hours as seconds stagger round. Backed in a corner, there's no backing down. And we're burning a mix of fear and pride. We're not exploding, we're dying from inside. We're bound and determined not to see. For too long we've only been bound by this ring. What changed? What happened to us? First we were, and then we weren't enough. Once hand in hand, now on the brink we stand. I hoped love could fix this. Oh, now I don't think it can. 'Cause I'm afraid to move, I'm afraid to speak. The sky might fall, the earth might quake. I'm afraid to breathe, I'm afraid to blink. If I do, a heart might break.
Dwight, how often do you get in your career, have you had the opportunity to work with a singer as fine a vocalist as Cindy here?
Just this time with Cindy. That's true. That is very true. I've been a Cindy fan since the first song that I heard. And when she handed me the songs that she had written 20-some years ago, I was floored then. Mm-hmm. And I've got to say something about this song that she hasn't. Recently, she entered a contest with this song. And turned out the judges were
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
The Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Now, where was this?
This was actually in Big Stone Gap.
Big Stone Gap again.
Yeah, and
I love Southwest Virginia.
I was fine. I had no idea who the judges were, and when they introduced the judges, I nearly fell apart.
The musicians from Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Actually,
the
producer.
One of them was the producer.
Producer of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Okay.
And she won.
And this was at Big Stone Gap, and what was the event?
It was the Gathering in the Gap.
Gathering in the Gap.
Yeah, they have a songwriting competition every year.
Uh-huh.
They say they draw entries from all over New York to Florida.
Well, it's a heck of a fine song. I'm not surprised that they liked it as well.
Thank you.
People usually in that level of the music business are pretty smart. They know quality when they hear it because they live with it all around them. And they hear something like that, they immediately think, well, this fits in our world. That's a great song. So there's probably not a higher compliment than that. Yeah.
I was floored. Mm-hmm. I was nervous. But
well, you should be a little.
It was great.
Little nerves is a good thing when it comes to performance.
I'll give them a plug, though. Big Stone Gap, the Gathering in the Gap, they do an awesome job. And if anybody out there listening is a songwriter, even if they've just written one song.
Who are some of the people up there in Big Stone that organize that event?
Well, Aaron Davis is the park ranger.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that's the official title, but we'll say it is.
At the Southwest Virginia
he's
Museum?
At the museum, yes. Yeah, and Ron Short emceed the contest this year. But Aaron definitely is the one you enter. And they have a website. You can look them up on Google, Southwest Virginia Museum.
All right, now I'm going to sit over here and be real quiet as I can be while you guys play. I just want to remind folks you're listening to this live session in Studio One on WETS HD1 and 89.5 WETS FM. We have Cindy GrayHarr and Dwight Bishop. Bishop and GrayHarr are our special guests. They have a CD out titled Being Human, and it's available on Reverb Nation, or you said iTunes,
or they can get it from us.
Yeah.
We have a Facebook
Do you
page.
have any shows coming up? We forgot to mention that. You're going to be somewhere New Year's Eve, I believe.
Dwight will be playing with Ron Short and the Possum Playboys New Year's Eve.
Doing some Cajun music.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, they do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate to get to fill in.
Where's that show going to be?
Magnolia Lounge.
Magnolia Lounge, right.
Where's that?
I think it's in Norton.
I believe it's Norton or Wise. I think it's Norton.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where are you going to be New Year's Eve, Cindy?
I guess I'll be there.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe they'll have you up to sing a song or two.
Well, we did some Christmas shows with Ron and his group, and we enjoyed that thoroughly. It was kind of like a Prairie Home Companion radio show,
Yeah,
and
it was a lot
we
of
loved
fun.
it.
A lot of
Loved
fun.
it.
That's great. Okay, take her away. Do about 3 or 4 songs in a row here, and I'll let you set them up, Cindy.
Okay.
Or Dwight, either one.
We're actually going to do a couple cover tunes here, leading into another one that we wrote, because I love some of the old Carter Family stuff and the old Jimmy Rogers, but what I love about it is the lyrics. You know, being an English major and a songwriter, I go for the lyrics, and I just personally feel like a lot of times we sing them so much that we get complacent in the music. So we just kind of did them our own way musically, but we kind of kept the lyrics.
I got you.
We'll give you a little taste of that and then show you one that we wrote in the vein of old time. Maybe.
Okay.
This first one everybody knows, Wayfaring Stranger. I am a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of woe, but there's no sickness, toil or danger in that fair land to which I go. I'm going home to see my loved ones gone on before me one by one. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. I know dark clouds will gather on me. I know my way is rough and steep, but gorgeous fields arise before me, where God's redeemed their vigils keep. I'm going home to see my mother. She said she'd meet me when I'd come. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. I'll soon be free from earthly trials, this body rest in the old churchyard. I'll drop this cross of self-denial.